Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Airbus Helicopters reveals racer, RANS employees can fly to work, and boater blocked floatplane from landing. Hello, I'm Christopher C. Odom. It's June 23rd, 2017, and this is Airborne Unlimited. Airbus Helicopters has unveiled their Racer, which stands for Rapid and Cost-Effective Rotorcraft. The demonstrator will incorporate a host of innovative features and will be optimized for a cruise speed of more than 400 kilometers per hour. It will aim at achieving the best trade-off between speed, cost efficiency, sustainability, and mission performance. Final assembly of the demonstrator is expected to start in 2019 with a first flight the next year. Today, we unveil our bold vision for the future of high-speed rotorcraft, said Guillaume Faury, Airbus Helicopters CEO. The Racer demonstrator will be built around a simple architecture, ensuring safety and cost efficiency. An innovative box wing design optimized for aerodynamic efficiency will provide lift in cruise mode while isolating passengers during ground operations from the pusher lateral rotors designed to generate thrust in forward flight. Optimized for performance and low acoustic signature, these lateral rotors as well as the main rotor will be driven by two RTM322 engines. An eco mode will be tested by the engine manufacturer to demonstrate an electrically powered start and stop of one engine in flight, thus generating fuel savings and increasing range. The Racer demonstrator will also benefit from a hybrid metallic composite airframe specifically designed for low weight and low recurring costs. Here's an idea that deserves to catch on. They say that if you earn your living doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And that may be part of the underpinning of RANS Aircraft Company's Fly to Work Day concept. Posting on Facebook, RANS says that because its factory is located just off Interstate 70 on the 183 bypass, they have a lot of roadside visibility. According to the post, it is fun to let the local and transient traffic know what we are about. So we created Fly to Work Day. We always plan a day ahead, that way we have good idea of actual weather. June 6 was exceptional. Our crew departed from KHYS Hays Regional Airport in Hays, Kansas, and trekked about, ending up at RANS still ahead of starting time. Then the twist. This time we parked in a car parking spots as employees arrived. I am pretty sure they were delighted to see their spots taken over by planes. Hee hee hee. Maybe someday Fly to Work Day will be a national event. Until then, count on the crew at RANS to uphold the beginnings of the tradition. The post concludes. After the break, floatplane landing blocked by weird boater.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
The dream is real, a truly affordable personal jet aircraft. The Subsonics Personal Jet Kit is priced at only $42,000. Kit plus engine is still under $100K. Add instruments, upholstery, and paint and you're flying. It's time to put your money where your bucket list is. Learn more at sonicsaircraft.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. A St. Cloud, Minnesota man has been arrested after he allegedly blocked a floatplane from landing on a lake in Stearns County with his pontoon boat earlier this month. The boater was identified as 39-year-old Courtney Zach. On June 8th, he allegedly blocked the plane from landing on the Watab Lake with his boat. The pilot called the Stearns County Sheriff's Office from his plane to tell them he was being prevented from landing on the lake. The pilot, who was not identified, was able to land before authorities arrived and then became engaged in an argument with the boater in the middle of the lake. Zach then left the lake and drove off in his truck. A sheriff's deputy said the vehicle was located and the person inside appeared to be drunk. He was arrested and charged with third-degree DWI test refusal. He was also charged with an interference with a seaplane, according to the sheriff. Investigators have found that Zach and the pilot have argued in the past, though it was not reported what those exchanges involved. It's Friday, and that means it's time for ANN CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell to check in with his weekly barnstorming commentary. Despite the fact that the House ATC bill promises to leave GA alone, we believe this is a dangerous bill that has no place in our nation, and for many reasons. Here's this week's Barnstorming.
Thanks, Chris, and hi, folks. Well, the privatization battle is still on. The House language was released a little while ago, and there's no question that the House still is trying to push privatization. And while there have been some compromises, the airlines are down to a single seat. The commercial cargo carriers are down to a seat. The regionals are down to a seat. In the long run, that isn't a totally static situation. It will be dynamic, and we have little doubt that the airlines will find a way to control it down the line. More important, among the seats, there's only one for general aviation, one for business aviation, none for unmanned. And there's no question that if you look at the examples set heretofore, that this is a losing scenario. One, the only thing wrong with the current ATC system is that it has been politicized and improperly funded. The FAA has been trying to push next gen for a long time, has made tremendous progress, but it's not paid for, and if it's not paid for, it's not getting done. And why do they think privatization will accomplish that with an extra layer of corporatization on top of everything else? Fact is this, $46 billion will be added to the U.S. deficit. In the beginning with the UK, when they made their transition, they had to add $112.8 million just in 2001 alone. In Canada, 59% increase in ATC fees following privatization. There was a 30% increase in ATC fees on airline tickets in the UK following privatization. And they expect that U.S. costs would be up 20 to 29% from a standpoint of ticket costs and so forth for U.S. air travelers. And let's face it, sooner or later, they're going to find a way to send us a bill, meaning GA, Sport Av, and Business Aviation. We see Sam Graves has signed on because of the current guarantee that GA will be kept outside the fee structure, but you and I both know that's a temporary measure. The minute the government decides it can charge for something, the only place to go is to charge more, not charge less, and charge more entities, not charge less. In no uncertain terms, no matter what has happened, and we're surprised that Sam Graves signed on to this and a little disappointed, in no uncertain terms, privatization for sport, general, and business aviation is a no-win. And if the airlines looked at this a little bit closer and weren't seeing dollar signs in their eyes with all the money that they supposedly could shove off to somebody else, they realize it isn't a winner either. In no uncertain terms, again, ATC privatization is a no-win scenario. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne, and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell.
After these messages, Boeing likes the future.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
The Bristol light sport aircraft is what you are looking for. The Bristol is wider than a Cirrus, faster than a Skyhawk, offers more storage than a Husky, and comes standard with Garmin avionics. So what are you waiting for? Visit Bristol.com to find out how you can get into a Bristol today.
With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing a few of those other great stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. Boeing has raised its forecast for new airplane demand, projecting the need for 41,030 new airplanes over the next 20 years, valued at $6.1 trillion. The company's annual current market outlook was released at the Paris Air Show, with total airplane demand rising 3.6% over last year's forecast. The FAA has issued Technical Standard Order TSO-C173A authorization to Concorde Battery Corporation for the RG-24-15, RG-24-15M, and RG-24-16 13.6 amp-hour family of sealed lead-acid batteries. TSO-C173A authorization confirms that the batteries meet the minimum operational performance standards set forth by the FAA and RTCA and DO-293A. Lockheed Martin officials have introduced the C-130J-SOF, the newest Super Hercules aircraft configured for international military special operations requirements. The C-130J-SOF is the 10th production variant of the Super Hercules. This multi-mission aircraft is specifically intended to meet the unique demands associated with executing operations of strategic importance in support of international special operations forces. Bombardier Commercial Aircraft announced at the International Paris Air Show that it has signed a letter of intent with SpiceJet of Gurgaon, India, for up to 50 Q400 turboprop airliners. The LOI includes 25 Q400 turboprops and purchase rights on an additional 25 aircraft. Based on the Q400 turboprop list price, an order could be valued at up to $1.7 billion. Students who had prepaid tens of thousands of dollars for flight training at American Flight Academy and Connecticut have been left holding an empty bag after the flight school closed following 2 fatal accidents. Some who came from overseas are having to immediately return to their home countries as their student visas were canceled. The school has closed both its Hartford and New Haven, Connecticut locations. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's get back to the rest of the news. ANN has learned that Golda Cox, the wife of the late Jack Cox, who was well known in the aviation publishing world, passed away June 16, 2017. Golda worked alongside Jack for 30 years at the EAA in Oshkosh before returning home to Asheboro, where she was born in 1999. While Jack was an editor for EAA's Sport Aviation magazine, he and Golda started Sportsman's Pilot magazine in 1981. The magazine quickly caught on with aircraft restorers and home builders. With his own focus publication, Cox was able to delve more deeply into the various historic and technical aspects of aircraft construction, restoration, and aviation history. Cox continued to publish Sportsman Pilot after retiring from EAA in 1999 until he passed away in 2011. Back issues of the publication continue to be available for many issues, but many are also out of print. Recently, Golda granted permission for issues that are out of print to be digitized and made available publicly online. In lieu of flowers, the family requests memorials be made to the Hospice of Randolph, Post Office Box 9, Asheboro, North Carolina, 27204-0009. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited stream daily, Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe. Do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Keep flying. We'll see you Monday.